So Cracker Barrel gets destroyed after another week of hilarious backfire as customers push back harder than ever against the company's controversial dangers. Okay, well, changes. I mean, so Cracker Barrel is facing one of its toughest weeks yet, and now customers are still making their frustration clear and stuff since they don't want to pay attention. Now, after Cracker Barrel changed its logo, redesigned its restaurants, and altered its menu, well, longtime visitors feel the company has lost touch with what made it special in the first place. And also, social media backlash against the Cracker Barrel CEO, the Karen CEO, has been nonstop. And many believe that the leadership completely misread their audience. And now, Cracker Barrel is still under pressure to simply just explain how it plans to win back the trust of the people who built its brand. All right. So Cracker Barrel basically, well, just going to start with that because the situation says a lot about where corporations are headed and now how badly, they're actually misreading their audience. You see, it's not just a casual stumble. You see, we're talking about a major company whose entire identity was built on tradition, nostalgia, and authenticity, suddenly deciding to go ahead and modernize without understanding what people actually value, which is the originality. Now, the numbers don't lie either. Cracker Barrel stock started August 8th at $57 a share, briefly climbed to $62.55 on anticipation of an announcement, and then tanked down to $51.24. That's a more than 10% drop in the month, and customers are not happy. So basically, we got here because of the leadership who made a conscious choice to strip away the brand's identity. You see, they dumped the old logo, removed Uncle Herschel, and decided to go ahead. The best way to modernize Cracker Barrel was by tossing out, decades of charm in exchange for a bland text-only look. And that logo change alone alienated the core customers and the ones who actually kept the company thriving for years. You see, people, they didn't only complain about the logo, they saw it as a symbol of simply abandoning values and identity, chasing trends, and disregarding the loyalty. Okay. But the logo, I mean, that was just the surface issue. You see, inside the restaurants, as you all know, they started removing basically remove everything that made Cracker Barrel unique. The collectibles, the Americana, the vintage artifacts on the walls as well. You see, they scrapped it all and simply replaced it with generic mass-produced decor that you could buy somewhere like at a Hobby Lobby or something. It's soulless and it's uninspired, and worst of all, it tells loyal customers that they're not valued anymore. And if that wasn't enough either, well, simply put, the leadership decided to mess with the menu too. You see, swapping classic drinks and ditching items that regulars actually beloved. Now, customers noticed, and guess what? They didn't stay quiet either. You see, social media exploded with backlash against the changes at Cracker Barrel. Loyal fans of Cracker Barrel called the redesign tone deaf, short-sighted, and completely unnecessary. And it wasn't just a logo, it was about what the brand represented. And when you build a company like Cracker Barrel on the idea of comfort, tradition, and family, you can't suddenly flip the switch and try to appeal to a demographic that never cared about you in the first place. Okay. So that's not evolution. That's just self-sabotage right there. But what's worse is, simply put, the arrogance from the CEO, the Karen CEO. And instead of just listening to the feedback, she doubled down. Other executives wanted Cracker Barrel to feel like it was, quote, catching up to competitors, but here's the reality. This company didn't have real competition anyway. You see, it was its own category, a unique experience where people couldn't find anywhere else. But by trying to copy everyone else, they diluted the very thing that made them special. And as the stock price continues to fall, Well, shareholders are starting to go ahead and ask serious questions about the future of this company, if it's going to close or stay open. But there's a bigger cultural trend chasing modernization without respecting the customer loyalty. You see, we've seen it with Target, Bud Light, and now Cracker Barrel. Corporations believe that they can reshape their identity overnight without facing any consequences. But guess what? The market always responds. You see, just like Target, you can't, same thing with Target. You can't banner your base and expect them to stick around because you slapped on a minimalist logo or swap menu items. Now, businesses like Cracker Barrel that forget where they came from always end up losing both their old audience and the new one that they thought that they could gain. Now, while all the of this was happening, another Karen moment exploded online. And you guessed it, it was at the Phillies game. You see, the viral clip that's been going around showed a woman snatching a home run ball from a kid during his birthday celebration, as you all know, and the internet went nuclear. She's just like the Karen CEO and everything, where people, called her names, like the Phillies Karen within minutes, and the hunt to identify her began. And there's where things get dangerous, though. In their rush to hold someone accountable, online sleuths and stuff just simply pointing out the wrong person who's an innocent fan as a woman in the video. Now, this is where we got to go ahead and just pump our brakes to calm down. And how the innocent woman, a Boston Red Sox fan, unfortunately, suddenly found herself harassed and accused of being a Phillies Karen. And her name, her job, personal information, all of it simply became public within hours, and it was inaccurate. Now, simply put, try going ahead and see if your face was plastered across social media for something you didn't do. Okay, but yeah, we're gonna have to chill out with that though. But that's the darker side of internet justice. Accountability is good, but when it turns into doxing and harassment and stuff, everyone loses. Even in cases like this, where the actual Phillies Karen clearly behaved horribly. All right. But other than that, I mean, you just simply both the Phillies incident and the Cracker Barrel disaster simply shows how quickly public perception could turn. You see, a single misstep, a single bad decision and stuff, and suddenly you're trending for all the wrong reasons. And unlike before, there's no pause button. Everything happens in real time. Okay. Videos go viral, hashtags form instantly, and brands can't hide behind releases anymore. That's why leadership at companies like Cracker Barrel can afford to be disconnected from reality. One bad move is all it takes to start bleeding loyalty. Okay, so basically, this is a bad week for both Karens and stuff, where the core issue comes down to authenticity. Fans at a baseball game value genuine interactions. Customers at Cracker Barrel value tradition and consistency. Now, once you start faking it, whether it's soulless decor or bland logos or even tone deaf PR responses, people see right through it, and they're more vocal than ever when they feel betrayed. Now, in a culture where everyone's actually carrying a camera and everyone has a platform, brands can't afford to forget who they're serving. Okay. Now, simply put, when trust breaks, it doesn't come back easily. You see, Cracker Barrel has decades of goodwill built up with families who love the experience that they offered. But when you alienate the very people who've been with you, and I'm talking about Cracker Barrel, of course, from the start, rebuilding that loyalty is almost impossible. That's why this stock for Cracker Barrel drop just isn't just a temporary dip, it's a warning sign. If leadership doesn't reverse course soon, we could be watching the slow collapse of a once beloved institution. Okay, so simply put, the lesson from all of this is simple: respect your audience, whether it's Phillies fans, restaurant customers, or Red Sox fans, the broader public. People don't want to feel dismissed or manipulated. They want honesty, consistency, and accountability. Now, when brands like Cracker Barrel forget that, they end up facing exactly what we're seeing now: backlash, financial losses, and a customer base for Cracker Barrel questioning whether they still belong. Okay. So, yeah, where exactly does this leave us? I mean, we're living in a time where corporations can't hide behind the polished marketing and stuff and scripted talking points anymore. You see, every decision is scrutinized, every change is analyzed, and every controversy is amplified online. You see, companies like Cracker Barrel are now at a crossroads. Either reconnect with the people who built them or simply just keep chasing trends until there's nothing left of what made them special in the first place. And if there's one takeaway from this week, well, is that ignoring your audience always comes with the price. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button, share the video for a while across social media, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for future uploads and notifications, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.